The newly named New Kaon is a place for us to rebuild, to regroup. I wasn't sure about Megatron's choice of name at first, but it's got a nice ring to it. It's a reminder of why we fight. That we don't get to see the defeat of the Autobots without remembering how we got here.
I'm the only one who would say this, but Ratchet and Soundwave have similar ways of looking at the universe. Soundwave wants to honor the past, while Ratchet wants to resurrect it. Maybe that's why I keep listening to Soundwave's voice through Blaster's head. Hearing Soundwave fret about how soldiers' pasts will affect their futures reminds me of Ratchet's ways of holding on to the dead. Both hoping that they'll find a key to the future. The Titan stopped when Jetfire did. When you think about everything he's done, Goldbug really should have seen that coming. When I see the rest of the crew, I am of two minds. Jetfire strung up because he was fixated on his past mistakes with Starscream. It makes him vulnerable.
Flamewar, sit.
No. I want to say something. I'm gonna say something about Cannonball. Somebody's gotta.
We've all been reminiscing about...
Cannonball was a damn good captain. The Rising Sea was a darn good ship. He would've been upset we're such a mess right now. Scolded us for a lack of dignity. That we should love ourselves enough to not do this in public. But he ain't here to stop me, is he? Not anymore.
Flamewar, look.
My apologies for interrupting.
I'd seen Megatron before, speaking with Cannonball off to the side, arguing over what a revolution looked like.
But this was the first time I think he ever looked at me.
I wish to extend my condolences to your crew. Cannonball's love for Cybertron was unrivaled. Our movement is less for losing him. He is an inspiration in death, as he was in life. I know it is a little solace, but your efforts defending the Titannet were not for naught. It was one of the largest blows struck against the Autobots thus far. You may think Cannonball and I did not believe in the same things, but that is not the case. We merely argued about our methods.
There was a hole that the NJAX wasn't filling, left by the explosion of the Rising Sea, left by Cannonball shoving us into the escape pods. The hole made as his last words bounced and echoed inside of me. It ain't worth it if we all fall here, Flames. You gotta live. Gotta rise from the rubble.
This sounds like a job proposal.
Was I that unsubtle? Apologies. All I want is to help you continue the work that Cannonball started. There is a home for all of you with the Decepticon movement.
A home? You've got work for us. What's the job?
I was under the assumption that Slipstream had taken over the Rising Sea since Cannonball's passing. Was that incorrect?
No, you're right. But honestly, we go where she goes.
We should be hitting back.
There's plenty of work here, Flamewar. One step at a time.
I don't understand. Megatron even agreed with me that we needed an organized strike against the Autobots before they activate the Titan. But it's like he doesn't want me anywhere near it!
Is that what he said?
He said now isn't the time to move because we're still spread thin and need to recover from taking Gold City. And that, of course,
I would be leading a squad when the time is right.
Sounds good.
But waiting is what got us attacked. If he would have listened to me from the beginning...
Weren't the Autobots already in the city when you were arguing?
Not the point.
I assume the point is you probably shouldn't have asked Megatron and Jetfire if they would have let Starscream go into the static zone.
Not my best moment. But sometimes it feels like that's why we're not fighting right now. Like we're frozen because they don't know what to do without him.
The commander is being cautious. This isn't what I want to be doing either. I'd rather be in the fight. But he's got scouts. It'll happen.
If neither of you want to be here, why are we here?
Sometimes Shadow Striker says exactly what I want to hear, even if Slipstream insists on being reasonable. Yeah, you're right. We're only here because that's what Cannonball would have wanted. But he never sat back and waited.
We're rebels! We're the crew of the Rising Sea! We're not Constructicons!
Yeah!
Right. We're the crew and Megatron is...
Megatron said that I'd be leading a squad when we went in. This isn't really disobeying. This is just speeding up the timeline.
Alright!
Slipstream, you told me once that you went where I went. Do you trust me?
Always.
You hear that, guys? The sea rises again.
Megatron will understand. He's had to make choices like this as a commander. I'm just following in the treads of the great leaders. Megatron? Cannonball? Megatron will be grateful. My resolve strengthens as we make our way into the static zone.
My resolve doesn't shake at the sight of the Titan. I've felt the tremors like everyone else. But it isn't awake, and it isn't alive. I'm not going to fear the shaking dead. I shake worse than any tremor when I recognize the one wrecker I've ever had the misfortune to face. The one who killed Cannonball. The one who almost killed me. The Titan Net's Iacon hub. It had already been wrested from the hands of the city crashers. The Autobots like Windblade and Lightbright, who decided that if they couldn't control the net, they'd destroy it so the Decepticons could not. That took too long.
I had to convince Blackjack and our city speakers to evacuate with the rest of the TitanNet team. Wasn't easy.
The Autobots were always going to try to take it back, but we were ready when they hit. You should go with them, Soundwave.
Things are going to get messy. Messier.
I swore an oath to protect both the net and the comms from being taken down. I'm not going anywhere.
Fine.
But don't get in our way.
Didn't your captain say to hunker down and keep the Autobots from getting deeper in?
Plans changed when they killed Low-Load. They cracked our frontline defense and—
Unhand him, Rodimus!
Captain!
Get back, you two! I've got this.
Do you now, Captain? Looky here. It's the Captain's favorite crew member. And she brought a friend.
You've already got company, Rodimus!
Struggling to keep on your feet? I suggest you stay down.
You pirate brats are annoying me.
Flamewar, stay away from Rodimus! You can't fight him!
I can handle this!
Should have listened to your captain.
Flamewar, go!
Cannonball, Sometimes when I remember this moment, it takes eons, and I don't know if it's because Rodimus rattled my circuits, or because watching this moment broke me.
All my speechifying falls to the wayside when I remember.
I'm going to kill him!
Hold up. Look, they see us coming, Flamewar. Be careful.
We're here now because we're sick of being cautious. You even agreed with me. Don't get cold bolts now!
I still agree, but look, they're waiting. If we come up with a plan, we can have the upper hand, which we'll need.
The bot who killed Cannonball is right there, and I'm going to kill him right now.
Flamewar, please!
If you're not right behind me,
Then I guess you weren't with me like I thought you were.
We're always with you. Don't you get it?
Don't make him too comfortable before I join you.
Giving orders now? Ultra Magnus put me in charge while he preps for Ratchet's procedure. Just do what you do best.
With pleasure. I'll make it quick.
It's gonna be hard when I'm the quickest thing here. Ah!
Incoming!
Didn't think I was capable of being on higher alert than I already was.
I got you, Flamewar!
Which of us do you think is quicker on the draw? Me or Hailstorm?
Hailstorm! No! He came to save me, and I wasn't fast enough. I think Rodimus is laughing, but the explosion is too loud for me to be sure. But I don't wait to find out. I don't know what I'm doing, but I hope it hurts.
That's enough of that.
What the?
Damn pirates.
Slipstream, you have to let me go. He killed.
Trust me, I know. That's why I can't let go.
I'm not going to argue with her. She has to know I'm right.
Flamewar, don't be ridiculous.
Let go! Rodimus's shots keep Slipstream from being able to swoop down again, and I think that's what I want. But I'm falling fast, and he's firing faster. This time, he definitely laughs. You left Megatron?
Flamewar, stop.
He never would have left you, you monster! He trusted you!
He ordered us to leave, Flamewar. He stayed to.
Let go of me! Let me at him!
It was either we leave, or it was the end of the Decepticons.
Then we should have all gone down with the captain! You abandoned him!
Shut up for a moment!
I'd never heard him say that to anyone before.
Megatron stayed behind because he wanted us to survive. Because if we all died on the battlefield for him, then nothing he'd fought for mattered.
If you were remotely loyal to Megatron, you'd know how foolish you sound.
I had to choose whether to die at his side or continue his work, which was keeping the Decepticons alive.
I didn't want to hear anything he had to say, and instead I screamed. He didn't deserve it, but he didn't understand it either. When I remember that day on Earth, I see Megatron and Cannonball both. Everyone tells you to run. Everyone tells you to betray your loyalty to them. Of all the bots I could have booted my optics up to, he is the most terrifying. Ah! Optimus!
Get off of me, you moronic dented excuse for a fender.
Shut up. I liked it better when you were silenced, Optimus.
Doctor's orders, Roddy. He claims something about Optimus tiring himself out before the procedure. But I suspect Ratchet just feels more at home if the patients are yelling.
At least the screams are better than having to listen to Soundwave all day.
They have Soundwave too? How long have I been out? Rodimus, you little!
Now. Flamewar, right? Ex-pirate, current troublemaker?
When I get out of these restraints...
It'll be because I took you out of them. Remember who you're dealing with.
He's right. I'm only alive because the Wreckers are keeping me alive. And not just me. Why am I alive?
Bargaining chip. Megatron values you quite a bit to trust you up against the Wreckers.
The comment aches worse than the rest of me, but I don't let that show.
Alright, everybody. Gonna have to go silent soon. But know that I'm going to be with you. Every step of the way.
I panic that Soundwave's captured. But I realize it's just his voice. The truth is much sicker. That's Blaster's head. You do those experiments on your own people? Sick.
I get the feeling you've got a broader idea of your own people than I do.
I don't get it.
You've got people. I've got a job.
You're a wrecker. You guys have worked together for a kilocycle. How do you not consider them your people?
That's the thing about wreckers. We care way more about the wrecking part than anything else. If Ultra Magnus told us all to turn our guns against each other, pretty sure we'd enjoy the slaughter.
Tell me what's happening with Ratchet and Ultra Magnus.
You're demanding answers?
I mean that, well, Blaster's head is a part of the plan? Using Soundwave's voice?
Pfft, you're throwing stuff in an engine and hoping it revs up. Maybe his voice is just growing on me.
And the message? My question doesn't get answered. But for once, I'm not angry about it. Slipstream! Missed ya, Slip.
Same here, Flames.
Flame and Slip moves, so classic we don't have to think. But he's still a wrecker. Whoops, missed.
I'll kill you both!
Slicer! You sure about that? You made this seem real delicate, Wrecking Boy. I know he could easily kill us both, if he didn't care so much about hearing Soundwave's voice for some reason. So I bluff like we have a chance and hope he blinks. You still didn't answer me, Slicer. What's Ratchet doing with Optimus Prime?
Maybe the boss wants to see how Optimus looks in his colors, in the mirror.
What the hell? But why would he swap? Slipstream, watch out! I hope Metroplex stomps on him on the way down. One less wrecker in the world.
We should go, but I know you're not leaving until Rodimus is dead.
Rodimus. I could stay. I might die fighting him, but it'd be worth it so that he at least had a couple of scars with my name on them. But Slicer's reaction to me talking about the other Decepticons, to caring for them, it made things click into place. For a moment, I am frozen where I stand.
I'm in, with or without a plan, but maybe...
I have a plan. A good one. It involves a lot of punching and shooting. Shadow Striker loves it.
Shadow Striker thinks sitting on the ground and pounding Prowl in the face until he throws her is a plan. I can always tell when you have Cannonball on the mind.
It doesn't take a super processor to figure that out. We'd be winning if he were here. I'd be in the field already if he were here.
You're probably right. He knew the Rising Sea crew better than Megatron ever will. And he knew you could be a great leader.
Could be?
When you're not so angry that you forget the difference between a leader and a martyr.
I don't know what you mean.
What I'm trying to say is that you're most like Cannonball when you're not thinking about him. When you're focused on the present, on the rest of the crew, rather than avenging the past.
For so long, fighting the Autobots and getting revenge for Cannonball were so intertwined that I couldn't see a difference.
You know I'm here, wherever you go. I'd just like to follow my captain again one of these days.
I'd forgotten why I fought before Cannonball died. I'd forgotten my purpose. If I ran after Rodimus now, what would that get me? Maybe I'd kill him. Maybe I'd die. But maybe Slipstream would die too. Just like Hailstorm. Just like the last time I ran off to get revenge. If I did that, would I end up like Slicer? Without crewmates to call my own? Was that a sacrifice I was willing to make? When Cannonball died, it was to make sure we got out. When Megatron stayed on Earth, it was to make sure we got out. If I died right now, who would tell Megatron about Ultra Magnus's plan? Killing Rodimus would be sweet revenge, but there's plenty of revenge to get on ground level too.